In 2015, I was trying to hustle in LA. I was in LA trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing with my life. And I landed this interview at Maker Studios. It was Maker Studios is an MCN. They got bought by Disney. So they basically were in the YouTube space, and I was already a YouTuber, and I would have done a really good job at the job. So I had an interview with them. It's a phone interview. And the day of the call, you see, my mom was back in China. She went back to China to visit her family, and whenever she's back with her family, she's unable to really control her emotions because, one, there's like a million fucking people back in China related to my mom, so she doesn't get the love. She's never gotten the love really, and so like she's back there, she feels the preference, and then all her siblings are doing better than her economically. So she's the one that got like a PhD and MD, and she is married to a fucking idiot, my dad, and she's unhappy in America, and all her relatives, most of them haven't even gone to college, and they're like entrepreneurs in China. They're richer than her. So like she feels inadequate that way. And then, you know, my grandma, my mom's mom, probably liked other people over my mom, so she doesn't feel favored. And my grandpa died when I was a little kid, so my grandpa's dead already. My grandpa really liked my mom, so every time my mom visits China, like it's memories of her dad, so my grandpa. So it's like lots of emotions running through her head. And my mom has this problem. She just like needs someone to let it out. So like she's always trying to start arguments with my dad, and as I got older, she tried to start arguments with me. It's just like she almost needs to be abused, like either be hit or someone needs to yell, tell her to shut the fuck up. And it sucks that my mom's like that. But so she was in China, and you know, she can't call me in China, so she's emailing me all the time, right? She's sending me picture after picture, and you know, she's sending me pictures of my grandma, and like after like 3 days of her sending pictures of my grandma, I make a joke because my grandma, for some reason, every single one of those pictures, like the camera caught her right before she was gonna smile, so she looked like she couldn't smile. And so I made a joke on the third day. I was just like, you know, grandma looks healthy, but she forgot how to smile. And like, I thought I was clear that it was like just being funny. Like I put smiley faces. And then, so I guess she saw this message and she got real mad, man. Oh my God. So I was preparing for my interview with Maker Studio. 7 minutes before they were supposed to call me, you know, I have my email up just in case Maker Studios sends me a message or something saying we need to reschedule, because it happened once already. Like they rescheduled once, so I was like, okay, I'm prepared just in case they reschedule again. So instead of Maker Studio sending me a message, I see an angry message from my mom. Oh my God, Jerry, you're the most disrespectful, discourteous, just in general, you don't respect your elders. And then she went into a long rant about why it was disrespectful to make that joke. Apparently my grandma, like, you know, because she's old, the muscles here are weak, so she can't smile, which is completely bullshit, because like I've seen pictures of my grandma now, and she's smiling very happy. So my mom was just trying to start an argument with me. And it just went on and on. And so like 7 minutes before I'm supposed to have an interview, I see my mom just talking shit about me, just like trying to start an argument with me. How the fuck do you think that's gonna do to my interview, like presence, so to speak? So I take the call with Maker Studios, and oh, I bombed it so bad. I just wasn't myself, and I knew I fucked up. And then I put down the phone. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna like smash things or get mad. I'm too old for that. But I'm just gonna take this moment and just communicate and understand. So I messaged my dad. I hadn't talked to my dad in a long time. And I sent my dad a very heartfelt message. I said, you know what, Dad? I kind of understand why you gave up trying to like be a good husband to my mom. I suddenly understand why you were so angry and so withdrawn, you know, with the family, because it's like what happened with me, how my mom just like arbitrarily tried to start an argument with me because of whatever emotions she was feeling you know, and ruin something that was so important to me. I really wanted that job. And the fact that it happened to me probably meant it happened to my dad multiple times, because my dad's been married way longer and spent way more time with my mom, right? So I suddenly understood. I'm just like, now I understand why you're so angry with her a lot. Like, and I was just like, I did my best. I communicated to my dad, and my dad's like, oh, it's okay. Just remember, your mom still loves you. You know, she's the way she is. She has some mental problems, but deep down at heart, she still loves you. And my dad sent a very heartfelt message back. And at the end of it, that was the beginning of sort of one, understanding how hard it is to be the man of the family, to be the breadwinner of the family, which my dad has traditionally been. My mom's worked too, and at times made more than my dad, but my dad's primarily been the ones to sort of shoulder the burden, right? He knows if my mom loses her job, yeah, she can just like stay home and be okay. But if my dad loses his job, it's like, fuck, right? There's a stigma to that. So it's like, it's just hard to be a man in this world, in a Western culture where jobs aren't steady and you really have to assert yourself all the time, and you know, you can't just smack your woman, which I'm not recommending, but like, you know, in the West, if you smack your woman, you're arrested. And so it's like, I suddenly understand sort of the struggles my dad had to go through. And the other thing that came out of this incident was I started realizing I have to set boundaries with my mom. So I basically, like, I block her phone. It's so sad, but I block her from calling me. So the only way she can contact me is if I choose to contact her. So I call her once in a while, but she never can ever do that again, like send me a message trying to start an argument with me or trying to call me and argue with me. She's never going to be able to do that, because if we're going to talk, my mom and I are going to talk on my terms. And that was sort of like the beginning of me understanding that when you become an adult, you have to keep your parents at a distance, because you're your own individual, and your parents, they're going to try to, you know, steer you a certain way based on what they think will work for you, but ultimately you are the one that decides your future. And so this incident basically cemented that even more in me. So I still live by that. Like, I don't talk to my parents. I don't even respond to their messages ever if I don't want to, and they talk on my terms, because, you know, if I want my parents to do the best they can, I want them to continue growing. So I always tell them, if you're worried about me, worry about yourself instead, because honestly, you're half the time just projecting, because whatever insecurities you have about yourself, you're projecting it onto me, because you don't want me to go through these same life insecurities, but that's just life. So instead of like worrying about me, trying to discourage me, why don't you work on yourself? That's what I always tell my parents. And they'll probably never get it. They're old, right? So they'll probably never grow out of it, but whatever, I can try. But the ultimate lesson is, I'm not going to let them unintentionally, which is this case with this story, ever again destroy something good that could have happened to me. So take whatever lessons you have out of this. Leave a comment if you want. I would love to hear about you and your parents. How do you guys handle your parents? Are you guys close with your parents, etc.? Thank you guys for watching.